president to make a finding that a country is discriminating against the United States, he can apply up to 50% additional duty on goods from that country. As far as Section 122, the president can impose tariffs with a maximum rate of 15% for up to 150 days to address, quote, large and serious balance of payments deficits. Now, if he were to use Section 122 and they were imposed at a 15% rate with the same exemptions that were used under IEEPA, that would actually replace 75% of the lost revenue.
So you're going around this thing called IEEPA, IEEPA, and you're right now, quite simply, being able to get the 75% of what Donald Trump was trying to do with the tariffs in the first place, which, by the way, have brought in hundreds of billions of dollars in revenue and leveled the playing field with other countries. Also, it has been used to bring peace between warring countries like India and Pakistan. The tariffs were used for that, John Roberts, you ass. Pardon me, did I let that slip out? Yeah, I let that slip out. SCOTUS Judge Justice Clarence Thomas dropped straight truth bombs in his dissent. Congress authorized the president to regulate importation throughout American history. The authority to regulate importation has been understood to include the authority to impose duties on imports. The meaning of that phrase was beyond doubt by the time that Congress enacted this statute. Shortly after President Nixon's highly publicized duties on imports were upheld based on identical language. The statute that the president relied on, therefore, authorized him to impose these duties on imports at issue in these cases. The Democrat Party has always tried to C-block the American economy. They have caused all of our manufacturing to be offshored with their piss poor economic policies. Donald Trump is bringing it here, and he's used these tariffs for more things than just raising revenue. Again, he's used them to bring peace around the world. He's used them as chess pieces in his 3D chess game to bring peace and prosperity to the country and the world. Apparently, there are also alternatives. I don't know these, such as Section 232 for national security, Section 301 unfair trade practices, which obviously we have been subject to. But you know what? We've been beast-slapped by the rest of the world for a very long time. When Donald Trump took office, we were carrying NATO, and Donald Trump said, "Oh, you got to contribute like 5% of your GDP to your own dang defense, or we're done." And guess what? They capitulated. You know, you had Chinese and Russian warships circling Greenland and trying to overtake the seaways up there. Donald Trump said, no, it ain't going to happen. We are going to take over Greenland, and it's going to be under our auspices. We're going to end this nonsense right now. And what did Europe do? They threw a hissy fit. Denmark threw a hissy fit, and then they ended up backing down. So there you go. Donald Trump will be able to get what he wants done. It's just occasionally he's going to have stuff thrown in his way because he's got a lot of people who are trying to take him down. They hate the fact that we have somebody in office who's doing what we asked him to do. They hate that their gravy train is running out. The massive amounts of trillions of dollars of graft and corruption. They increase the size of government. I was thinking about this today. Every major spending bill the last 15, 16 years has evaporated, has been stolen. All right? You got the increase of the federal government with COVID, 40% increase of the government size and all of it disappeared into the ether. All of it was looted from the Treasury. You had the major infrastructure bill that Barack Obama passed, $787 billion. You know what he said a year after that was passed? He goes, I guess the projects weren't shovel ready. And I said, if a Democrat says they're going to fix something, you better have your shovel ready. Every time they pass a major spending bill, Obamacare is a scam. Obamacare is nothing more than an opportunity to loot our treasury. I've got a story on it I'll share here shortly on the show. But every major spending bill, this is why I told you that they never fix anything. Joe Biden was in Washington, D.C. for 50 years. The same things he campaigned on are still broken today. Infrastructure, schools gotten worse. The VA, Social Security is
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain over time. It just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. Hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to relieffactor.com. That's relieffactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain? Hey guys, it's Carson for Shopify. For years I have had a swag line of t-shirts with catchy phrases and whatnot, and it's just been lying there. Well, I've decided to go with Shopify and actually make money with my own business. Shopify gives you everything you need to sell online and in person. Millions of entrepreneurs have already made this leap, from household names to first-time business owners just getting started. Choose from hundreds of beautiful templates you can customize to match your brand instead of just having a lousy website that nobody notices like I have been doing for years. Set up fast with Shopify's built-in AI tools that write product descriptions and headlines, create email and social campaigns that reach customers wherever they scroll. In 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/Newsmax. Go to shopify.com/Newsmax. Make building a successful business your 2026 New Year's resolution.
Your home comfortably year-round.
I have to say, I think that in many corners of the White House, this was expected, even though they have been saying repeatedly, we think this is going our way. They have been planning and looking at ways to actually raise revenue to replace the lost revenue. So they do have some ways to do that. If the president were to look at Section 338 of the Tariff Act of 19...
Yeah, there are other options for the tariff revenue. Not a big surprise, certainly. Not the way you want to start your day, but you know what? I'm not going to get down, because the left has waged war against us for about a decade now, and we really now realize how serious things are. Right? I mean, we do. We do go into this midterm. Regardless, I want to hear what Tony Kinnett has to say about it. Who would have thought that Indiana, the state of Indiana, would be home to 2 NFL franchises? My God, what a day.
I mean, I'm still upset they haven't renamed the team the Gare Bears and Gary. I guess Hammond is the Indiana Bear. Whatever. We'll find out.
Well, yeah, where's it going to be? Are they going to call them? Are they going to change it from the Chicago Bears? Are they going to call them the whatever Bears? I don't even know.
I'm sure they'll probably still end up calling them the Chicago Bears, although there's a lot of anger and argument from some of the folks out in California that no one has ever let them, whenever a team moves out there, make up their own name or choose a name. So it'll be interesting. We'll see kind of what happens with it. But
it was out there, it'd be the they-them Bears, I think is what it would be.
I like it. I think create a new town and then make it something so that, like, I don't know, like the Bear Nakeds or something. I don't know.
The Bears. The Fabu Bears. Stop it. Just stop it. So anyway. Well, so I guess Indiana's going to have the Bears. So there you go. That's kind of cool. You got 2 NFL friends. This honestly isn't a big surprise. You've got so many people leaving states of Illinois, states of California, states of New York, and of course listen, that happened to Kansas City. Kansas City, Missouri lost the Chiefs. You know why? Because Kansas City sucks and it's run by Democrats. Duh. This is not a surprise.
I really enjoy watching people like Brandon Johnson, mayor of Chicago, get up in front of everyone and throw essentially a toddler fit. He can't understand why things turned out the way that they did. You've got, and I'll be that guy, some similar attitudes from some people today on the tariff stuff that's really weird. A lot of people pretending they didn't know what was going to happen, and I'm a little confused.
Yeah. So what did you have to say about it? I saw it this morning, and I think I was hoping against hope, like so many things, that this was going to skate through. I knew that there were a lot of issues with it when it happened. It was kind of a, I don't know. For a few minutes, it was a little kick in the teeth, but then I realized, no. They've had everything thrown at them. Donald Trump has had everything thrown at him, and I'm sure they've got a myriad number of ways they can go at this.
So, two things. Number one, there is a very big difference here between Scott Bessent economic policy and Howard Lutnick economic policy.
No.
Howard Lutnick got out there and said, you tariff everything. Tariffs are great. Tariff.
Gotcha.
And we can do whatever we want and no one will ever question it. That's stupid, and that's not how it works.
No.
I trust the president on a lot of things, and especially when it comes to, for example, undercutting like China, or safeguarding perhaps the auto manufacturing industry, or maybe steel, some kinds of tech, I get it. But the idea that, like, Trump throwing a 10% reciprocal tariff on everybody, that's the power of Congress. It's not the power of the president. And I don't say that because I don't like Trump.
I know.
I've said this before consistently because Congress either needs to do something or it's worthless.
Yeah.
And the idea that we just give executive, whoever it is, unilateral power, and this is what Alito argued what Gorsuch argued pretty clearly, and I say decently so. No, in this case, I don't think so. There's other ways in the president that he did so that are correct. Mm-hmm. It's a weird place to be. I still think that Trump was in a reverse catch-22.
Yeah.
No matter which way SCOTUS ruled, the economy was going to do really well for this because either the economy says, okay, fine, tariffs, we'll get used to it, or, wow, looks like tariffing the bananas on Madagascar isn't going to be a thing anymore. All right, sure, we can do this too. So either way, I think it's a win.
Well, he also, don't forget, he's used tariffs to bring peace agreements between places like India and Pakistan. He's used them and said, basically, I'm going to tariff the snot out of you, and if that happens, you won't be able to afford to wage war against one another. So he's used him in that fashion as well. It's been a pretty major part of his strategy, beyond just leveling the playing field between the United States and other countries.
So that's true, and this is something that was outlined very clearly even in Chief Justice John Roberts' decision here. He said, look, if the president wants to use tariffs in order to say to a country, no, you can't do slavery. No, you can't rape Americans and expect us to continue trading with you. No, you can't flood our markets with opium. That he has the right to do, constitutionally. But the president not have the constitutional authority to say, I really don't like how they're selling a lot of lit chocolates in Switzerland. Tariff. He doesn't have a right to do that. I mean, again, I love the guy, but just pretending that because he does something, it was a great idea. I'm sorry, Peter Navarro sucks. He's bad. Really? And Scott Bessent is good.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Bessent is the dude. Bessent is definitely the dude. He's now my official favorite cabinet secretary. What else was going on? Hey, did you hear last night that pizza deliveries were up near the Pentagon? You know what that means?
Oh, do I ever?
Yeah, it means
you're getting in the millennial speak there, my man.
It means that the Ayatollah might be getting a missile up, colonoscopy.
Rob, I got a present for you.
What?
An exclusive for the Rob Carson Show this morning. So as you know, we talked about off air. I've done some fun work regarding some military contracting, and I can very reliably say that at least 3 of the prime military contracting organizations who currently have execs on the ground in the Middle East have been told to stand by and hold for the next 72 hours, except for 2 particular crews which are known for high-altitude recon work.
Really?
So there you go. That's just for you.
Okay. Well, I mean, listen, all of the things are pointing in that direction. We now have 2 carrier strike groups over there. Last weekend, they sent 117, I think, cargo C-17s over there. So clearly they're getting their ducks in a row. Bibi Netanyahu was in D.C. last week. I mean, what else do you need? What else do you need? Are you going to send...
Not the United Kingdom.
No, you certainly don't. And honestly, what a D-word for Richard move by Keir Starmer, who hopefully will be gone soon. It sounds like he's a dead man walking, not allowing us to use English bases for our planes. Unbelievable, right?
He's like, you can't use Diego Garcia Bay. You can't use it. It's like, well, it's a little pissant island in the middle of the Indian Ocean. No one really needs it.
Yeah.
But Bulgaria opened up Sofia International.
Right.
We have at least 15 KC-135 refueling tankers that are currently there, and more are arriving at all times. So if the UK doesn't want to pony up, other countries who are closer to Iran want that Ayatollah regime to be leveled down to size.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This may despite the carbs that I've been trying to stay from, order a pizza tonight. I might just have a pizza tonight. Let's cover some other stuff on the other side of the break. Tony Kinnett, Daily Signal, also WICB, IBC. I almost said ICBM. WIBC, Indianapolis. More on the other side of the break. Let's take it. This is the Rob Carson Show. Here we go.
Fasten your seatbelt, Deep State. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. It's the Rob Carson Show.
Now, moments ago, State House Speaker Todd Houston announced that the Chicago Bears have agreed to relocate to the new stadium to Hammond, Indiana. Houston made that announcement moments ago at the House Ways and Means Committee meeting.
Thank you very much.
And there you have it. The mayor of Hammond and the Speaker of the House, Todd Houston, announcing the Chicago Bears are coming here to Indiana.
I'm thinking pork tenderloin sandwich at the stadium, brother. What do you think?
I would say I'm here for it, but I wholly reject northwestern Indiana, like as a rule. The armpit region. Again, I'm proud of my state. It's good. It's cool. I'm glad, but also I also don't care for the Chicago Bears.
Well,
so it's like, can we swap for like another franchise?
Oh, you don't like the Bears? I've always liked the Bears. You weren't alive in 1985.
I hate Chicago, and I love to see them lose things.
You weren't.
But I'm not a big Bears fan.
Tony Kinnett, you weren't alive in 1985 for the Bears. For the Bears in 1985, that was the team.
All the super fans references.
Yeah, good. But anyway, I don't know much about northeastern Indiana or wherever the hell it is. I was driving across the country, and I stayed in a hotel in Indiana when I was driving over Christmas, and there were a bunch of people there from Indiana bragging about how Indiana was going to get the Bears. So this is what happens when you mismanage your city. Why would you want to stay in Chicago, for crying out loud? It is. I wonder. You'd think that maybe there might be some New York teams wanting to get the hell out of New York with Zoran Mondani as the mayor. I don't know.
I mean, it's a weird situation to have J.B. Pritzker come out in front of the public and go, you know what? There's way too many regulations. And it's like, dude, he then tried to blame it on, like, the counties, the localities, because no one can afford to build anything in Illinois.
Yeah.
When it's, dude, you're the one who championed these regulations that made you number 3 in the country for business crippling regs over the last 10 years.
You know what this is? These are Democrats. Democrats, what they do is they're like, and listen, trust me, I can comment on this because I lived it growing up. When a wife leaves an abusive husband, and the husband goes, What I didn't do? Come on, I won't hit you anymore. I won't. Come on, baby. Don't leave me. And they're like, you know what? I think we're kind of done. We're kind of done with this nonsense. Boeing, by the way, leaving Virginia after Abigail Schamberger got voted. They're going back to St. Louis, by the way. Did you hear about that?
I did, and also, of course, Palantir leaving Colorado for Florida, which I am also quite happy about.
Absolutely. Well, this is, if socialism is working so well, then why don't people go, oh, my God, look, Zoran Mondani got elected. Let's move to New York City. Or, why is California, for 6 years in a row now, the most fled from state in America, even though it's paradise on earth? Only Gavin Newsom or a Democrat could make California look like Gaza.
And just for a little historical fun here, during the Great Depression of the United States, when so many Americans left to go join the Soviet Union, they were never seen or heard from again.
There were
and
lots
we see with businesses. Those that do a little, I'm going to open up my own socialist lesbian coffee shop and for only left-handed queer people of color. And it goes out of business in exactly 5.6 minutes. You never hear from them again.
Tony Kinnett,
do not learn.
Tony Kinnett, did you see that grocery store? They had that free grocery store in New York City, and people started arriving by 9 in the morning. All of the tickets were gone. All of the groceries were gone, and a week later, it shut down. I got to tell you, he exceeded my expectations. He has exceeded my expectations. I thought it would take months for this to implode on him. It's taken weeks for this to implode on him.
I'll go one further.
What?
I didn't expect him to just go right out in front of everybody and say, okay, we're going to have to raise taxes, which is going to raise the rent. We're also going to cancel hiring 5,000 New York City police officers. But one more, we're also going to raid retirement benefits for the entire city, all of the retirement funds, because we don't have any money. Usually they wait to push the old people off the cliff until like year 2 at least.
They'll make it a hospice, like California. They'll make it a hospice area. You can come and you can do assisted suicide and all of that. Also, by the way, did you know?
Canadian culture.
Yeah, and I saw in Carl Higbie was talking the other night, in Washington State, they're doing the same thing. They're raiding the pension fund because the Democrats have come in and they've proposed all sorts of new spending. In for instance, Northern Virginia, they had a $2.3 billion surplus, and they come in and they want to raise tax. Why? Because they want to enrich their friends. It's all a cabal. It's all, and then they want to, all the money goes to NGOs. They want to make it so you can't audit them. It's the same thing, lather, rinse, and repeat, but this time in Virginia.
Well, of course. And again, when they run what they consider to be moderates, it's always just a socialist with a coat of paint over them.
Yeah.
And as they continue to do these kinds of things, right now the American people appear to want one thing and one thing only, results.
Yeah.
Give me results. I've heard advertisements that promise me everything but the kitchen sink. Some of them throw in the kitchen sink in the advertisement.
Yeah.
And Americans are exhausted of being promised the moon and being delivered gravel.
Yeah.
And so Republicans and Democrats are going to have to put up or shut up because the midterms are going to be about who is actually giving me things,
Yeah.
what I want.
Yeah.
And that's, not something you can just tweet about.
Well, you've got a lot of things going on. You've got inflation leveling off. They're no longer talking about affordability. You've got a new Fed chair coming in. Interest rates are coming down. Houses are becoming more affordable. The rent is coming down. Gas is down. And then, of course, there's also all of these things in the big, beautiful bill that are causing people to have terrific income tax returns. So I think that it's going to be the next thing. Last week, 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, it was Pam Bondi is covering up Epstein. This week it's Donald Trump got beaten in the Supreme Court and tariffs. Next week it's going to go back to we're shutting down the government because ICE is Nazis, and they're going to keep doing this crap all summer long, and we're going to keep doing this. So we've got to overwhelm them with joy and patriotism, and then if we need, occasionally a little beatdown. There you go.
Again, I'm here for letting the man cook, and in this instance, again, even though I'm certainly glad if this is what it all took. If this is what it all took to get Howard Lutnick, to get Pam Bondi, to get Kristi Noem, to get Peter Navarro to shut up and let the more competent people do the stuff they are supposed to do. If this is what it all took, it's worth it. Q2 is going to be a great economic time, and I think everyone gloom and dooming over the midterms is they're getting a little ahead of themselves.
I think you're right. All right, Tony Kinnett, my friend, where can people find all of your glorious work online?
You head over to dailysignal.com. That's where you'll find all of our stuff.
All right, brother. Have a glorious weekend. We'll talk. Go Bears. Woo! Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Tony's outstanding. Outstanding. Hi, guys. We had some streaming issues. Gary, Indiana's a cesspool. I know. It's a terrible place. I've driven through there. It smells. Valentina Zooman Dum Dum. Okay, no, I call him Moron Zomkami. I love Rob's imitation. I don't know what imitation I did. Tony did Trump. It was pretty good. Gary, Indiana Bears. It would be like actually almost as bad as Chicago. Over on the YouTube, somebody said Gary, Indiana Bears. Oh, that's Newsmax saying that. That's Ken saying. Steve Hardwater is joining us. Hello, Steve Hardwater. What's going on, brother? You might want to get a water softener. We got some hard water in the Potomac River. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's kind of stinky, too. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this next. I got a parody song from Mr. Jim Gossett coming up here. We're going to have some fun with it. That'll be next. Trump. Yeah, here we go. Anyway, are you guys having a good time today? I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'm really looking forward to the weekend. I'm going to go have a cigar on Sunday with some friends. Hello, Greg in Australia here, and we stand with Trump. Come on, brother. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Australia, come on, baby. We got people watching in South Africa, for God's sake. It's fantastic. All over the world, we're an international concern. Shelby Inslee, hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Jamie Bellett, good to see you as well. Let's own this last segment, shall we, before we dive into it here. Let me pause that. All right. Here we go. Time for me to talk. It's time for me to talk.
Who likes voter ID? Yeah! Who likes proof of citizenship? Yeah! And who likes no mail-in ballots, except for military, illness, disability, or like you're on vacation?
Agreed. Everybody in Georgia, at the burger joint that Donald Trump went into, said, yeah, we're all for voter ID. Everybody's for voter ID. But here's Gavin Newsom, who will never be the president because he's a scumbag. Absolute scumbag, completely corrupt, has driven California into the pits of hell. He says that even he can't find his birth certificate.
And of course, We're not talking about the other aspects of the SAVE Act that go well beyond ID, and it goes to which is also part of Jim Crow, the history, and that is when it comes to registration, you got to find your birth certificate. If you know where yours is, I have no clue where mine is. Or you have to passport, and 2/3 African Americans don't even have passports.
2/3 of African Americans. There you go. I'm thinking the worst of, and this is James Clyburn sitting across from him, going, "Oh yes, that's absolutely right."
Passport. I was blocking on just then, but not only that.
What did he just say? What the hell did he just say? I got to hear that again.
Americans don't even have passports.
Passport. I was blocking on just then, but not only that.
What the hell is that?
How many people go out, get married,
yes,
and then square their married name with their birth certificate?
Well, how the hell do you move out of your house after divorce and turn on the utilities in your new apartment? You got to have some sort of ID. Dear God, are you out of your mind? You guys are so pathetic. This is Jim Gossett as the Prezi.
The SAVE Act, it is stole. They stole in committee. Mitch won't call a vote. It is opposed by several rhinos. You and I know how they get my goat.
Yeah, they do.
But don't forget, we need ID, or in trouble we're gonna be.
Yeah, you need an ID for everything.
Hey, Senate, pass the SAVE Act for me.
Shadooby-dooby, shadooby-dooby.
Democrats, they are rats. They hope the SAVE Act they can help defeat.
They can help defeat.
They don't want
to
stop the steal. When votes are real, it is hard to cheat.
Yeah, because they cheat. That's what they do.
When it's approved, the Dems will panic and lose the midterms. Wait and see.
Let's kick their butt, shall we?
Stop stalling. Pass the SAVE Act for me.
There you go. That is Jim Gossett. He's a genius. My God in heaven. You're only going to hear that comedy right here on this here radio program. Go to patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy, patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. Mary Walter joins us next hour. We've got much, much more on this Friday edition of The Rob Carson Show. And if I were you, I wouldn't go anywhere.
No blind rhetoric.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think. Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax. Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think. They let me decide. Real news for real people.
And now...
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. We are on radio stations across the country and, of course, streaming on all of Newsmax social media. If you'd like to follow me personally on social media, go to Rob Carson or Rob Carson Show. I'm everywhere, Getter and Truth and LinkedIn, oddly enough. Let's see, Facebook, Twitter, X now, Instagram, TikTok. All of them. My God, it's crazy. I've got like a regular network there. It's kind of nuts. And then on Sunday night, oddly enough, at 8:30, I have a TV show on Newsmax, okay? So I have a comedy show on Newsmax called Rob Carson's What in the World? It's been on the air for about 6 years now. Not sure why it's on Sunday night, but you know what? That's when it is, and that's when you got to watch it. So 8:30 on Sunday night, Rob Carson's What in the World? Set your DVR. That way you won't forget, because, you know, you get kind of busy, and then all of a sudden 8:30 rolls around, and you're doing something in the kitchen, you're making some popcorn, and you're like, oh, my God, I forgot Rob Carson's What in the World's on. So you can set your DVR. It's a delightful show. What I do is I write the script around clips, of newsmakers, and then I stop and start the video. And between the video clips, when I stop it, I improvise. It's pretty fun. It's very fun. So check it out, will you? Steven Spielberg is fleeing California ahead of the proposed wealth tax. What? Why would you do that? Steven Spielberg, you're a commie lib. You should love having high taxes because, you know, the billionaires and millionaires and the this and the that and the blah. No, he's out of there, man. Steven Spielberg is leaving California because Gavin Newsom has made it into a crap hole supreme. That is just fantastic. Man, that is just fantastic. President was out and about yesterday. Got some good jobless numbers, by the way. Had, the GDP was down just like the Democrats wanted it to be in the fourth quarter. That's why they did the government shutdown, you see. And that's why they're doing it now, too. And then also it was about Obamacare, rescuing Obamacare subsidies back then. And now it's defunding ICE and the Department of Homeland Security and all this. So it's always going to be something. That's their goal is to, C-block the economy. I'm just going to tell you that. But it's not going to stop the good news from happening.
Let's start out with jobless claims, shall we? Initial claims expected to be around 225,000. 206,000.
They were down last week, too.
206,000. That would be the smallest amount going back to the second week in January when it was 199,000.
That's pretty cool. People to come back to work, you see. You know, because manufacturing is coming back to America. Donald Trump was out in Georgia yesterday. Did you see that when he went into the burger joint? And all of the people were joyous to see him and everything. And he played the crowd. Nobody plays the crowd like the president. But he talked about at a speech yesterday about Joe Biden's economy, which was a crap sandwich without the bread versus his.
Under the last administration, every economic policy punished American workers and businesses like this one while rewarding those who outsource to foreign nations.
Yeah. Remember Barack Obama said that, I don't have no magic wand. I can't bring manufacturing back to America. And Donald Trump came in and said, let me show you how to do it. And he brought $18 trillion of investment in manufacturing back to our country.
Under the Trump administration, our policy is the exact opposite, making it harder to outsource while rewarding those who invest, hire, grow, and build right here in the USA.
It used to be a big deal to have a Made in the USA label on something. Do you remember that? Yeah, it used to be kind of a big deal to be made in the USA, and now everything you get is what? Made in China. It's made in China, right? Most of it, Taiwan, China, all of that. Not America, but America's coming back. It's pretty amazing because Americans will do anything. George W. Bush said, there are jobs Americans won't do. There's never been a job Americans won't do. What an asinine thing to say. That said, while Joe Biden was the president, I don't know if you knew this, I lived in Kansas City. I sold cars for a little while. And I watched his economy destroy people's lives. I saw people have to come out of retirement to work at the grocery store. I saw people working 2 or 3 jobs. I saw the price of groceries go from where you could fill the bottom of the entire cart of groceries. Trust me, I do all the grocery shopping. At Wally World, at Walmart, you could fill the entire cart for $250. And it became $250 just one level in the shopping cart. Just nothing up, not up to the top, just the bottom of the cart covered, $250. That's the way it was. You know it as well as I do. And Democrats, as Donald Trump's trying to bring down these prices, he's doing a good job of it. The prices are still high because of what Joe Biden did. And they're claiming it's Donald Trump's fault. You see what they're trying to do? But fortunately, rents have come down. I'll get to that in 1 second. Mortgages. When I bought my house in Kansas 6 years ago, we got in the low to mid 200s. I know where you live. It's great. You can still get a pretty nice house in Kansas City for $250,000, $300,000. I mean, honestly, you really can. It may be a little, not the best neighborhood, but they're coming around. They're coming around. That house now, if you were going to buy it, $450,000. And the average price of a home went from about $230,000 to around $410,000, $420,000 during Joe Biden's administration. Interest rates. I have a 2.9. I have a 2.9 interest rate. It went to 8. All right? That's what Joe Biden did by opening the southern border and blowing up spending. And we all lived through it. And we all have the scars, many of you, the interest rates on your home that are very painful, or your car interest rate, or your credit card interest rate. Unbelievable. Here's Donald Trump yesterday talking about how rents are coming down big time.
We're also expanding the dream of home ownership.
Yeah.
And we are really right now in American dream territory. One of the biggest factors driving up housing costs was the Biden border invasion.
Oh, yeah, there's
brought
that.
in millions and millions of people flooding into your communities, getting government subsidies on homes.
Yeah, I gave them loans and everything, and gave them free hotel rooms and everything while you and me suffered.
Foreign-born workers now make up over 1/3 of all demand for Georgia housing, driving up rent and housing costs.
It did.
That we've secured our border, we stopped the invasion. Think of this.
What?
Millions of people came through our border every single year.
Yeah.
Millions and millions of people. In the last 8 months, I don't even believe this could be possible, but it's close. Zero.
There you go. And it's working. And we love it. And you know why we love it? Because that's what we voted for. Thank you very much. Then I want you to listen to this. Prescription drug prices. Have you had to buy anything lately? Have you gone to Trump RX these days? I'm not on a bunch of meds. I know, even though I'm 60 years old. I'm not on a bunch of meds. I'm not on anything expensive. I'm not, the only drug I take is for my fabulous hair. Thank you very much. Been taking that for a while. But, I get that from hims.com. But other than that, no, I don't need a lot of stuff, but a lot of people need a lot of stuff. And drug prices are coming down pretty darn dramatically.
Under our most favored nation agreements, and this is the thing that I think every Republican should win on, even if you hate them in every other way.
Yeah.
Agreements for drug prices, that we're slashing drug prices by 400, 500, even 600%.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever seen anything like it.
Crazy.
Because we were paying the highest drug prices in the world, and now we're paying whatever the lowest price is in the world. That's the price.
Yeah, see, that's kind of what he did with tariffs. He leveled them out because we were getting screwed. You see, that's why he did it. He didn't do it to be punitive. He did it to even out the playing field, and he used a specific law to do it. And now he's just going to have to find another one. There you go. That's all. This is a woman online talking about one of the most expensive things. My wife and I, we had to go through the IVF thing. Had to do the shot in the rear end and all that stuff. Not a lot of fun. Went to we had that where you go in and you make a baby without the physical contact. Go to your rooms. Oh, this is hot. This is hot. All right. Let's get it done. Oddly enough, we got pregnant with my daughter. We got pregnant. My wife got pregnant with my daughter for the first time in like a couple years where we actually did it for fun. It was because it was like shots, temperature, how's the temperature? Okay, let's go. Blah, 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 all this stuff. Talk about sucking every ounce of romance out of it, whatever. But 1 weekend, we're like, what the hell? And then boom, There you go. But here's a woman. IVF is incredibly expensive, sometimes thousands of dollars, and it has even actually prevented couples from having children.
Between everything medically going on, I have a tumor in my brain that has to come out. It's very urgent,
Wow.
and then I come out of it. I start these IVF cycles, tens of thousands of dollars. This is going to put us under. We're stable, but we're already kind of drowning in medical debt.
Yeah.
This is not going to help. And she said, well, I don't know if you've heard of Trump RX, but it is making IVF cycles far more affordable when it comes to the medication. Like, you are talking saving $2,000 to $3,000 per IVF cycle. For example, Gonal F is a very commonly used fertility drug, and it's usually in an injection, and it goes per pen. The cost for just one pen can usually range anywhere from $1,200 to $6,800.
Yeah.
On Trump RX,
What?
$168 per pen. Another one called Cetratide usually goes for $315, and on Trump RX, it's $22. Another one called Ovidrel will go from $251 to $84. And those are just some examples.
Wow.
This changed our lives. This changes the entire trajectory of our fertility treatment costs. And not by a few $100, by thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah, the good news is coming. It is coming. And the affordability argument for the Democrats is already off the table. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
By the way, did you see they raided the Fulton County place, storage house?
Yeah.
And now the Democrats have hired a massive team of lawyers. Yeah. They have the ballots. That should be no problem,
yeah,
right?
Should be no problem.
Yeah. FBI came in and raided. They found plenty of stuff. And now they have the ballots. And the Democrats are fighting like hell. And I think it goes before a judge tomorrow.
Yeah.
To not let anybody see the ballots. Why don't they want them to see the ballots after all these years?
Because they cheated?
You know why they don't want? Because they cheated.
Oh, there
That's
you go.
why.
Yeah, ding, 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 ding.
They sent top lawyers down from New York to fight it.
Yeah, 100%. It's obvious. It's kind of like, duh. You know, that's just the way it is. Otherwise, he'd be like, oh, dude, no, here. You can see him all you want, you know. Instead, they're saying something, well, he only wants to see him because he wants to steal 2020. That makes no sense. That makes no sense at all. That's just stupid. But they're just throwing it out there. It's like, oh, you know, the reason why they want ID is to keep black people and women from voting. Again, stupid. We're not this stupid. This is your Democrat Party. They think you'll just fall for it, but you're not going to fall for it. I'm not going to fall for it. Don't fall for it, kids. Coming up in a second, I want to share Carl Higbie. Nobody talks war like Carl Higbie. Carl Higbie last night, he kind of put things in perspective about what's happening right now that could happen as soon as this weekend in Iran. We will see. Donald Trump has given Iran maybe 10 days. I don't know if that's a distraction. Because, you know, you kind of go, no, it's 10 days, and you get them, boom, tomorrow. I don't know. But I'm going to share that in 1 second. Gold is pushing $5,100. It's on the way back. I told you it was going to be on the way back. Went down to 46 from 56. Now it's 51. It didn't take very long, did it? 2 weeks. And don't think that it won't continue its meteoric rise, because it went up $2,000. $3,000 in a year and a half. From $2,600 to $5,600. Gold is desired. People want it more than ever. Birch Gold makes it accessible. I always see in the comments on our live stream, I want to buy some gold. It's a little too expensive right now. And then, you know, last week happened. Maybe today's the day you pull the trigger and you text my name, Rob, to 989898 for Birch Gold. You're deluged with a million gold ads. I know it. You see it all the time. Gold is a hot commodity right now. It was always just kind of a warm blanket, right? As far as investments are concerned, it was just kind of nice to have, but it really wasn't doing much. You know, all of that. Kind of like a husband after 25 years. I'm just saying, ladies. Anyway, A+ rating for the BBB. And it is in demand, highly wanted. Let Birch Gold help you diversify with gold so you can have a peace of mind regardless of uncertainty in the world economy, et cetera. Geek. Text Rob to 989898. Again, Rob to 989898 for Birch Gold. Here is Carl Higbie talking about our forces near Iran.
Trump isn't like every other politician. He's actually willing to do something. Check this out. These are our bases around Iran. Okay? There's a lot of them.
Nobody talks war like Carl Higbie on Newsmax.
To say, we can put a fighter jet, or 200, over Tehran in less than 20 minutes. Most of those bases, they won't even know that they launched. They won't even know because they can't be detected by radar because our fighter jets are awesome.
Yeah.
You don't believe me? I'm sure we can get the Iranian officials on the phone with Mr. Maduro. We have not one, but two carrier battle groups in the region, each carrying more planes than all of Iran's Air Force, with destroyers that are currently picking which window in which building they want to send a missile through, built on target packages of our CIA that's been on the ground collecting intel that we've infiltrated their country dating back to Iran-Contra. We have frigates with more resources than all the grocery stores and gas stations in Tehran.
Whoa.
We have submarines that these people have no idea where they are, each carrying up to 8 independently launchable nuclear warheads. Whoa. Of which one would make Tehran look a lot like Gaza. 3 out of the 4 of our branches of our military are the 3 largest air forces in the world, and we just move half of it into Iran's backyard.
Oh.
Iran's leadership is a bunch of antique religious ideologues that don't like bacon, that think they're protected by Allah. I say we test that protection.
Listen to that again. I got to hear that again. Uh-oh, play it again, Carl.
World, and we just move half of it into Iran's backyard.
Yeah.
Iran's leadership is a bunch of antique religious ideologues that don't like bacon.
Antique religious ideologues that don't like bacon. Or dogs. Don't forget the dogs.
That think they're protected by Allah. I say we test that protection.
But they love their goats, man. They love that. Is Carl Higbie. By the way, he just got re-signed. He got a new contract at Newsmax. So you're going to be seeing Carl Higbie all over the place. Now, something interesting. I didn't even know this. Do you know what happens around the Pentagon when they're about to nail somebody like the Ayatollah? Listen.
But, there's interesting, and you being in the number 2 at the Pentagon for quite some time, there is actually an X account, a Twitter account, that tracks the pizza restaurants around the Pentagon.
Yeah.
And it's never wrong. When you are ordering more pizzas from those things, there are probably bombs coming out of the sky. And as of this afternoon, various pizzerias near the Pentagon are reporting above average traffic, including both nearby Domino's locations, sir.
Yes.
Looks like we might be raining down.
I guess there's no account for taste, but there's there's pizza. Actually any dang pizza is almost pretty good. Even Domino's is pretty darn good. Here is a former Undersecretary of War Robert Wilkie talking to Carl Higbie about bombing the snot out of Iran. Something that's got to happen.
They've killed thousands of our soldiers and threatened to kill the president. What you've said is absolutely essential. It can't be a one-off. It can't be a United States Navy show. It has to include the hard, weeks-long campaigning of the heavy bombing of the United States Air Force. The B-52s, the B-2s, the B-1s that will break the ground, destroy the bunkers, and really put an end to Look, Carl, this is one of the most evil regimes in modern history.
They have to go.
And I always fall back, and you and I have talked about this, on something gold in my ear always said.
What'd you say?
If somebody tells you over and over again he wants to kill you, believe him.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what these people want to do. If they are let off the hook, the ramifications for global peace will be cataclysmic.
Yeah, this is why I think Donald Trump defused the situation, said stop the hangings, all of this nonsense, so he could get everything in place. And these idiots are still doubling down on stuff, like doing an AI picture of the Gerald R. Ford at the bottom of the ocean. Still being defiant, still being belligerent, and hopefully we will erase them from the planet, and the people of Persia will walk free. And after that happens, they're going to go to Cuba, and the people of Cuba are going to walk free. People of Venezuela have already been freed of a dictator. This is the kind of freedom that we've been hoping for, and this is why this year and the next 3 years are going to be the most historic in world history as far as peace and prosperity, because we got a kick-butt president in the White House. How's that sound? I think it sounds pretty cool. The one and only Mary Walter joins us next. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson for Shopify. For years I have had a swag line of T-shirts with catchy phrases and whatnot, and it's just been lying there. Well, I've decided to go with Shopify and actually make money with my own business. Shopify gives you everything you need to sell online and in person. Millions of entrepreneurs have already made this leap, from household names to first-time business owners just getting started. Choose from hundreds of beautiful templates you can customize to match your brand, instead of just having a lousy website that nobody notices like I have been doing for years. Set up fast with Shopify's built-in AI tools that write product descriptions and headlines, create email and social campaigns that reach customers wherever they scroll. In 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/Newsmax. Go to shopify.com/Newsmax. Make building a successful business your 2026 New Year's resolution.
Somalis are all on welfare, and the Dems just seem to not care. Ilhan Omar, she needs to go. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO. Many are anti-Semitic, Their statements have been pathetic. They're a threat to all you know. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO. They are always expressing hate of America. Why are they here? Must deport before it's too late. Talk about holiday cheer. Our language, they will not learn it. Own money, refuse to earn it. They are gaming the system so. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO.
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain over time. It just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. You know, hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain? Space aliens.
Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
So aliens are real.
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information.
So there's Donald Trump talking about Barack Obama giving up classified information. Do you suppose that's why he backed off the space alien thing? Is that he realized that he gave up classified information and they're really... I mean, listen, look at Rose DeLauro, obviously. We've been visited.
That's funny if you know who she is.
Yes, well, a lot of people do. She's the purple-haired, crazy-looking woman in Congress, the Democrat. She looks like a space alien, totally.
You know, I just say off the space alien thing just for a hot second.
Yes.
She's not a good-looking woman to start.
Oh boy.
But it's almost like she goes out of her way to look hideous.
I don't know what it is. There's an age that you shouldn't do things anymore. You shouldn't do experimental facial hair. You shouldn't do experimental hair color, after a certain age, And I don't know what she's trying to do. She's got those big glasses. I guess she thinks they got those Harry Carey glasses. And then she does like purple streaks in her hair. It just does not work.
Yeah, it's almost like she's trying. And I try to listen. God gives you certain things, and you can't help what God gives you. So I try to give people grace, but you got to work with what you've been given, right?
Yeah. And it's only magnifying the ugly. It's like pointing out a zit on your forehead. It's like, look at this zit. It's just not. No.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so here's the thing. Totally believe there's aliens. 100%.
What? Do you really?
Explain the Nazca lines to me in Peru.
The what lines?
The Nazca lines.
You mean the lines in the chemtrails? What are you talking about?
No,
you're talking about
lines
You're talking
Peru.
about the big formations they show like human drawings that are hundreds of feet long on the Earth's surface.
Right, and you can only. How did they make those if they're only visible from the air?
Here's the issue, Mary. I've thought about this a good deal.
But you didn't answer my question.
I don't know. They're just good at it. Listen, there's a lot of people thinking that you got farmers who carve out "marry me" on the ground. You got skywriters who can write "marry me" in the sky a mile long. So there's a million ways to do it, Mary. Doesn't have to be space aliens.
Well, those skywriters didn't exist back then. I mean, these people, I just find it hard because these things are miles long. Some of them are encompass a mile.
So you think there are space aliens? Okay. All right.
I do.
Do you believe that there are structures that go down 4,000 feet under the pyramids?
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't given that much thought.
But here's the thing that I will say. I'll posit this because I'm a big physics and astronomy guy. I know it's kind of hard to believe, right? But if in fact there were massive civilizations, it would be very odd for us to come together at this time in history. So history, even a little blink in 15 billion years of the universe could mean that your civilization, 2 million, 5 million, a billion years ago, came and went. And you would assume they'd discover radio and they'd start broadcasting like we have in the whole deal, and yet the universe is silent. We're not hearing anything. So I'm kind of wondering,
Well,
it
just
should be
because
populated.
we can't hear it doesn't mean it's not happening. Maybe we don't have the equipment to pick it up.
Well, there's only a certain level of... Okay, we're getting too deep in this. There's only a certain wavelength.
And maybe they don't want us to find it. Maybe they don't want us to find us. Maybe they've been here like these people are a disaster.
Well,
we don't want them to find us.
They saw Rose DeLauro and said, she makes us look ugly. I mean, my God.
Exactly. I think they've been visiting for a while, and they're just looking what's happening. They're like, all right, that's a lost planet, and off they go.
Pretty much. Here's another scandalous story.
Controversy this morning surrounding one of the most iconic brands in the candy business. A member of the Reese family is accusing Hershey of hurting the Reese's brand by shifting to cheaper ingredients in many products. Brad Reese says Hershey replaced milk chocolate with compound coatings and replaced peanut butter with peanut creme. Hershey acknowledges recipe changes in some products, but says the original Reese's peanut butter cup is made the same as...
There you go. What do they call them where you live? What do they call Reese cups?
Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah.
What do you call them?
That's what we call them in Iowa. And then I moved to Kentucky. I went to Kentucky. They call them Reese cups there. They call them Reese cups. Yeah.
Well, they also call them sodies, too. Instead of soda, they call them sodies.
They call them... Yeah. So let me ask you this, Mary. Who eats candy? Because all the ads for candy, it used to be when I was a kid, they were for kids. And now all the candy bars and everything are for adults. Do you, as an adult, frequently buy a candy bar?
No, you know what? See, so my husband has a little bit of a hoarding issue. And so he will buy a 4-pound bag of candy for Halloween. Yeah. And long story short, we don't get trick-or-treaters because there's always a big party in town on this one block, and, you know, the parents go, and
Plus,
it's a big party, blah, blah, blah.
Crazy Mary lives in that house. Plus, the kids know Crazy Mary lives in that house. I've heard the rumor.
And I like that. Get off my lawn. But my husband figures to buy a big 4-pound bag of candy, and we put it in the freezer because, you know, to make it last. And I was like, this is ridiculous. And he would keep, and so then he just decided to start buying. Yes, he goes, yes, but I bought candy that we like, so it won't go to waste. You won't have to give it away. I'm like, no, buying candy that we like is not the answer. No. But we always have a bag in the freezer of like Reese's Peanut Butter Cups or like the assortment that has like the mini Snickers, the mini Three Musketeers, the mini Twix, or the, you know, those types of things. And because they're the mini, I'll eat one every now and then.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when I gave up drinking, when I gave up drinking, I didn't realize how bad, you know, alcohol is all sugar all the time, right? Generally. And so like, I remember I had a problem when I ate 5 crumble cookies in one setting. And then I realized also I could not have candy in the house, and I cannot have it in the house. I really can't. I keep some like dark chocolate squares. I have one a day. But otherwise, I have to kind of stay away from it. I have to stay away from it. So, anyway.
No, I'm very good. I just put stuff in the freezer, like the Girl Scout cookies and this and that, and you forget about them. And then if you want one, like a Girl Scout cookie, you kind of have to defrost it, unless it's a Thin Mint, in which case it's delicious frozen.
But I'm going to tell you, the thing about, and I mentioned this the other day, we're always complaining about the cost of tuition going up, you know, 200%, 300% in the last 30 years. Did you realize in the last 10 or 15 years, the price of Girl Scout cookies has gone up 300%, or a little bit less?
Yep.
They used to be $2.50. Now it's $6 a box. I mean, I'm sorry, they're pricing themselves out of it.
When I sold Girl Scout cookies, they were 50 cents a box. That's how old I am.
Wow.
And I just watched it go up. But,
and there was one flavor.
And they have a way to make you buy them. It's once a year.
Yes.
And you know what? If it brings you joy and you buy 3 boxes once a year, throw them, so what?
I was at Best Buy. The girls were inside Best Buy and selling them, you know, all these cute little girls. And they got the little puppy doll guys and all that. So I bought the cookies. Then I went over for my purchase. I ended up buying an extended warranty on the cookies. It's $20 a year. Didn't even know. I'm like, what the hell did I just do? What did I just do? All right, so on the other side of the break, Whole Foods scraps a dystopian payment system and no more garbage cars. You will be fined in one state. I'll explain that on the other side of the break. More with Mary Walter on the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere.
680 WCBM.
Relentlessly slowing the spread of the stupid every day. It's the Rob Carson Show.
The outward pass for Keller, a defenseman. Nice move, cuts to the net, score! Megan Keller, the overtime hero. The United States wins gold in Milan.
I got to tell you, watching the U.S. women's hockey team yesterday win the gold against Canada was really something else. It's been a long time since I felt the goosebumps, felt the tears kind of welling up in my eyes, and I saw those girls win yesterday. It was something else. Mary, did you see that yesterday?
I did not see it live, but I saw it on replay, and that was amazing. I couldn't keep track of the puck. I'm like, where is it? I'm like, oh my gosh, it's in the goal. I had no clue where it was going. I've watched it several times.
That's watching hockey. That's watching hockey in general, Mary.
That's true. Hockey though, we used to have Devils tickets, and from what I could see, it involved a lot of spitting and just a lot of fighting.
And a little bit of fighting. Yeah, I used to, and I hope to go see some Caps games. I really enjoyed Caps. It's like pro wrestling meets Monster Truck. It's friggin' phenomenal. Really good hockey teams. There's nothing like a hockey game. Just the
yeah, no, they're really good.
Oh my God!
You know, Rob, since we beat Canada yesterday, if they had listened to Donald Trump and become the 51st state, they would have won a gold medal.
They would have won a gold medal. Well, you know what? That's just the way it is, isn't it? And by the way, it could be a men's U.S. team versus Canada, depending on if the men win today. Did you see this little girl, Alyssa Liu? She won a gold medal in figure skating. Did you see her? She just...
that was insane.
Joyous.
That was crazy.
Joyous.
She was a blur.
Oh, my God. Her routine was flawless, and then afterwards, she's just a light. She's my daughter's age, so I'm like, I'm that age where, your kids, I'm like, I called my daughter yesterday. Why haven't you done anything? She won a goal. What the hell? What are you? Oh, you're in art school. Oh, okay, whatever.
Nice, Rob. And I love her story. Her dad was imprisoned after Tiananmen Square because he protested. They got out, and they came to this country, and they actually had the CCP, because they have secret police in this country, and who were after them, and they actually had to get protection from the federal government. And she was so excited to win for America, her adopted country, right? The country that took them in, and they became citizens and did it the legal way. And did you see the American who's Chinese?
Yes.
And she decided to skate for China.
I know. And she lost.
And take a little bit of a blowback. Talk about a difference between the two of them.
You're going to talk about a difference. Look at the difference between the patriotism of the figure skaters and the hockey players versus the skiers. I think it's because the skiers smoke so much weed. That's what I think it is. You got the woman over there saying, well, I'm pansexual, which I guess means you like to have sex in the kitchen. Don't even know what the hell that means. Anyway, and then she hates America.
Wait, she was a skater. She's a figure. Wasn't that Amber Glenn, the figure skater, not a skier?
Oh, okay. Well, what about the skier guys who say they hated America? I don't know. I don't know if they're pansexual or bisexual.
Yeah. Okay, that was early on in the beginning. I got you. Yes.
Yeah. Well, whatever. The skiers are kind of a little ingrates versus the hockey team. So, but I was really. It was reminiscent. It really was reminiscent of the 1980 men's team beating the Soviet Union, although the U.S. Olympics team had beaten opponents 31-1 in the Olympics thus far. So.
Wait, who did?
The American team, the women's team, had outscored their opponents 31-1 until the game with Canada.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, wait, it was 2-1 in Canada in overtime, wasn't it?
Yeah, well,
like,
Canada.
Did I miss a lot?
Canada. I think the last time they beat Canada 5-1. So Canada brought game yesterday, but fortunately we ended up winning. So do you? I listen. I've never been a Whole Foods shopper. I go to Whole Foods because there's one near my house, and in the mornings they have 50% off prepared foods and fruit. So I get the yellow labels like I get at Walmart, except for I get it at Whole Foods. I'm the biggest pain in the butt because I got to enter each one and put a 50% code on it and the whole deal, and I buy stuff there. But did you realize, do you shop at Whole Foods?
Whole paycheck?
Yes.
No, that's what they call it in New Jersey.
Of course.
There was one near me when I was living in Maryland in Chevy Chase, and it was the only grocery store that was that in the Food Giant. And I went in there. My husband and I went in there once looking for guacamole, and it was like $14. So I went to the desk, and this is a true story. I said, do you have any guacamole that is not made by indentured children in a foreign country?
You're like, I don't know. I'm making $12 an hour as a second job. Leave me the hell alone.
They did not appreciate my humor, and we went guacamole-less because I was not paying the ridiculous price for guacamole.
You can get guacamole half price if you go in early in the morning. And by the way, I'm going to give Whole Foods credit because what they do is they take a lot of the stuff that's expired and they give it to homeless people. And they got these big old trailers full of food, it's pretty. They feed a lot of people. They feed a lot of people. Did you know that they have a thing called Pompeii, not like the city that was buried by the volcano in Italy. It's called Pompeii, where you put your palm and it reads your palm.
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of it because people said, "Are you freaking kidding me?" That's what I said. The first time I went there and said, "Are you going to use Pompeii?" And I went, "What? What?" Yeah, apparently it's too much to use biometric information to buy your half-price guacamole.
Well, first of all, two things. Half price. So my grocery store in New Jersey, it's all ShopRite, and we have a mega ShopRite, whatever. And they put they have refrigerators up in the front of the store, and then racks where all the 50%. And it's 30 to 70% off.
Ooh, I like that.
So everything from every department goes up there at different times.
Yes.
So when I buy stuff at 50 to 70% off, sometimes you get 70% off on something, like on a prepared food there.
Yeah.
You realize the half price at Whole Foods is probably full price at my store.
Pretty much.
Do you know what I mean?
Pretty much, yeah. But
so I'll get dinner for $2.50 for each. I'll get some for like $5 because it expires that day.
Yeah.
And they have a sushi department, so you get sushi, whatever. So that's the first thing. So they tried that biometric thing at our hospital here.
Uh-huh.
You give would you like to? I'm like, no, why would I give you my palm print?
Yeah.
Because then you can just hit they had these readers everywhere in the hospital, and you can just hit your palm and it'll, you register automatically when you go up to same day. You just swap your palm. I was like,
no.
And the same thing, they took them out. They just got dusty, and people got tired of dusting them, and they got rid of them. Why would I give them that?
I don't know. But by the way, if you buy something 7% off, you better eat it that night because there'll be flies buzzing it tomorrow.
Well, that's the thing. It either gets wrapped and goes in the freezer if it can be frozen, or we have it for dinner. You just have to know what time to go because different things go out at different times throughout the day.
We could talk about this all day, but we're out of time.
Fine.
Where can people find you on social media, my dear?
Okay, I'll be on the Rob Schmidt Show tonight on Newsmax TV. I think that's 7:45. I think.
Love it.
And then I'm probably going to be not on this coming week because I'm going skiing tomorrow.
All right.
So you can find my podcast, though, Mary Walter Radio. It is live on YouTube and Rumble and Getter.
Okay.
Tuesday, 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't know if I'll be there. Mm-hmm. And the audio is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Spreaker. And you can catch my latest guest, Rob Carson, who was on with me on Tuesday.
Yes. By the way, don't pull a Lindsey Vaughn. Keep it slow. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. My God, she listed a million things. We won't have any time to talk after this break. I threw my Rumford baking powder and Arm & Hammer away, got Rob's Red Mill baking soda. You know what's interesting, Tom K? If you buy the plain label baking soda, it sucks. But it's the same chemical. Baking soda is a chemical compound, and it's supposed to be the same. How is Arm & Hammer baking soda better? Do you ever use baking soda as an antacid? You never knew that? You know what happens when you do that? If you have a really bad heartburn and you take baking soda and water, when you burp, it's hydrogen. Did you know that? And if you burp into a plastic bag and light a match to it, it'll go poof like that. It's kind of cool. It's like lighting farts, but not. I've never done that because I'm not a gross human being. A lot of guys in college do that. I have no idea why, but yeah, hydrogen. It's hydrogen. Same stuff that was in the Hindenburg. So you should know that. All right. Hello, Mark McClellan. Good to see you there. How's things going wherever you are? David Chin's new. Ron Ulia? I can't hardly see it. Welcome to the show. A lot of people joining in for the very first time. I do appreciate you. Got Englahin Omar Schnarker, DVD. Hello. Kurt McKemmel, I guess is the name. Look at all the new names. Oh, my God, in heaven. Oh, my God, it's so good to see you. Thank you for joining me on Facebook. Over there on the YouTube, Willard Clark. Hello, Willard. What up? Jamie Billette. How's things with you? Oh, I got to talk about something here. I got something pretty crazy happening here. What about my rumbly roos? Grandma, baking soda, great for laundry detergent. Really? Also for in your refrigerator when it's stinky. All right, there you go. I got to talk now. So we're doing this Gettysburg trip from Baltimore to Gettysburg on June the 11th with my anchor station WCBM. And we knew it was going to sell pretty quickly. We didn't know it would sell out in 5 days. So we got a luxury coach, and we had to, we sold it out immediately, and they've got another one now. So I don't know if you're in the area. Again, it's near the Baltimore area. If you're on the East Coast, you might want to drive down. Who the heck knows? It's going to be an amazing event on the 11th of June, and we're going to get on this luxury Coach Ez now. We know Coach Ez. And we're going to head to Gettysburg, and we're going to spend the day there. We're going to have some lunch and everything, and then we'll have experts, historians there to kind of educate you, if you're a Democrat, educate you on Gettysburg. And if you've never been to Gettysburg, maybe this is the opportunity. It's just a day. It's a day trip with me, and I'll be on the one bus probably going, and then the other bus coming back, and then we'll just spend the day together. If you want to go, it's $130. So that includes lunch, transportation, the whole deal. A bus ticket would cost that much, so there you go. Go to WCBM.com, WCBM.com. That's our anchor station, our glorious anchor station. And I want to thank Andy and Sean, the awesome morning dude, Sean Casey, who I listen to every day for show prep every single day. WCBM.com, WCBM.com, if you want to go on that trip with me on the 11th of June. I cannot wait. I haven't been to Gettysburg in about 15 years. And it is going to be something else. I'm telling you. We got a lot of stuff to get to in the final hour of the show. We got the crazy cat lady of the day. We've got, an anti-ice terrorist attack. Yeah, I know. The fool in charge of the wastewater here in Washington, D.C. and presided over the spill, DEI hire, who actually presided over Flint, Michigan's water problems, and he was promoted to D.C. Yeah, that's all coming up. Don't go anywhere.
This is the right choice for Maryland.
Talk Radio 680 WCBM Baltimore.
Breaking news at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The Supreme Court has struck down President Trump's far-reaching global tariffs, handing him a big legal setback on an issue crucial to his economic agenda.
The justices voted 6-3 in ruling that an emergency powers law that does not in fact use the word tariffs does not give Trump the authority to impose tariffs, including reciprocal tariffs he imposed on nearly every country.
As correspondent Mark Sherman, the president pushed back this past hour.
The Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing, and I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed, for not having the courage to do what's right for our country.
Today's 6-3 decision centers on tariffs the president unilaterally imposed under an emergency powers law. He's not the first to use that logic. It was back in 1971 that President Richard Nixon declared a national emergency and imposed a 10% surcharge on all imports, justifying that on the grounds of a monetary crisis, economic harm to the U.S., and the need to protect the dollar and U.S. industries. It's too early to know what, if any, military action the president may take against Iran over its nuclear program. Military affairs analyst, retired Lieutenant Colonel Robert McGinnis.
Will the Iranians give up their nuclear program? No. Just like the Libyans gave up theirs and crumbled, North Koreans didn't and survived, and I think they've gone to school on that. Plus, the Iranians have the support of the Chinese and the Russians, albeit, somewhat of at arm's length.
The president has been warning that if Iran fails to comply with U.S. demands within 10 days, bad things, in his words, will happen. On Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 210 points. The Nasdaq up about 235. More of these stories at townhall.com.
What?
now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. Welcome to the final hour of the show today. We have much to get to. Much to get to before the show ends. I want to remind you that Sunday night on Newsmax, my TV show is called Rob Carson's What in the World? It's a half an hour rapid fire show. Video clips, commentary, improvisation. If you get a chance to watch it, set your DVR. Sunday night, 8:30 on Newsmax. Newsmax. You've heard of it. It's grown by leaps and bounds. It's kicking butts, taking names. It's awesome. Greg Kelly and Carl Higbie just got new contracts. They're going to be around for a while. And you ought to watch Newsmax. I mean, I'm serious. Yesterday, you want to hear where I went yesterday? Are you ready? I went to CPAC yesterday. I went to the CPAC building yesterday. The CPAC building is like 3 blocks away. Matt and Mercedes Schlapp go to work there every single day. So I went over there yesterday, and I got a little tour, got to see it, the whole deal. And in the break room, they got Newsmax right in the middle. They have 3 big TVs. 3 big TVs. You got one network over here, I won't say, one network over here, and right there in the middle. Newsmax, thank you very much. They got a pretty fancy. They got a pretty fancy office too, by the way. They have a coffee machine in there with like 6 different kinds of Tehran syrup for your coffee. So if you want like the French vanilla, sugar free, right there in the middle. I'm talking living large here, living large. So I went to CPAC. It was kind of cool. It was kind of cool to see where it is. I'm a newbie to this, guys. I'm Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, like a Metallica version of that. When I meet people, I'm still kind of, I ran into Caroline Levitt. I'm like, whoa, hi, Caroline Levitt. How are you? I'm Rob Carson. I'm like, what? I ran into Janine Barrow. I'm trying to like, blah, 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 blah. I don't even know what to say. Kash Patel. Here, I met Kash Patel, right? So I go to this event, and it's for Article 3 project. And I'm there. And it's in a bar. I'm not drinking, of course. And I see Kash Patel. So funny. You're gonna love this. Mike Davis is hosting it. It's really funny because I had never met Mike Davis. He's like, Rob Carson gave me a big hug. I'm like, whoa, okay, cool, right? This is good. So I see Kash Patel walking right at me, and I blurt out because I couldn't believe it. I went, Kash Patel. And I scared the crap out of him. And you don't want to scare the crap out of the FBI director. But I did. I kind of like, he's like, what the hell, who are you? But I couldn't help it. It was like it was an involuntary. It was like Tourette's syndrome. Nothing against you got Tourette's syndrome. But it was very much like, it was very Tourette-y. It was like, Kash Patel. Oh, sorry. You just couldn't believe it was Kash Patel. And I talked to him as I was being hauled away in handcuffs. I said, I really think you're great. I think you're great, Kash. And then they hurled me through the front window, and they broke the glass, and then they put up some plywood and all of that. But so, yeah, it's kind of new to me. It's kind of cool. And so when I walked into CPAC, I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to be cool. I walked by the front desk, and they got this big bowl of individually wrapped Lifesavers mints. And, I'm from Iowa, and I grew up poor, so do you mind if I have one of these? And I'm like Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost when she's at the bank and she asks, "Can I keep this pen?" I'm kind of like that. That's who I am. So I grabbed some mints when the receptionist guy was there and he looked the other way. I grabbed a handful of mints and put them in the suit pocket. What's that over there? Oh my God, what a lovely building. Hey, what kind of syrup do you like on the Tehran coffee syrup over there? Hey. Wasn't that bowl of mints a little bit more full just a second ago? I don't know what you're talking about. No problem, whatever. I've been eating those mints all morning. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Yeah, there you go. Come on. So this is kind of cool. I haven't said a lot about Jesse Jackson passing. God bless him. All right. I'm not particularly happy with the state of the inner city black community and what he's been able to do and not be able to do. So I'll just leave it at that. But his son yesterday was talking pre-funeral, and I thought what he said was pretty darn cool. I really do. I really, really do. Because normally Democrats use funerals to, the Wellstone funeral, the Coretta Scott King funeral, they become political rallies. And I want you to listen to Jesse Jackson Jr.
But these homegoing services are welcome to all. Democrat, Republican, liberal, and conservative, right wing, left wing, because his life is broad enough to cover the full spectrum of what it means to be an American.
Yes, sir.
We only ask people to come and be respectful in the context of the extraordinary life that he lived. Dad would have wanted us to have a great meeting to discuss our differences, to find ways of moving forward and moving together. And if his life becomes a turning point in our national political discourse, amen.
I love it. I thought that was something else. I wanted to play that today because, you know, the Democrat Party is very passive-aggressive. About 10 years ago, they started calling Donald Trump a Nazi and us white supremacists. And they've been pounding that home and calling us fascists and all of this stuff. And then they say that we're the ones dividing people. And it's very frustrating when you've got a political party that is so full of crap and hate that they do that passive-aggressive bull crap. And then destroy the country, divide the country on, you know, race lines, sex lines, all of this bull crap. And then, oh, look, you guys divided us. No, you did. And wasn't it nice to see that man say that? I thought it was really, really cool. There you go. There you go. Wanted to say that. As far as bringing the country together, and as far as the midterms are concerned, I've said that we need to overwhelm the left with joy and patriotism. I'll handle the mockery, ridicule, and satire, and let Donald Trump handle the butt kicking. Here's Jason Miller. He is a Trump associate, and he's talking about what we need to do going in the midterms.
But the reason why President Trump has the credibility to go talk about these things is because he's done it all before. Yeah. Think back to the Abraham Accords, creating the best economy we've ever had, the most secure border we've ever had. And this is where it ties into people's everyday lives. What people in Georgia want to hear about, gas prices down at $1.79 a gallon. Yeah. They want to hear about more jobs. They want to hear about the fact that their average families are going to be about $3,000 a year richer because of President Trump's tax cuts. These are the things that make a real difference in people's lives. And so the Democrats can go and pontificate all day long or put out corny press releases or try to attack the president, but they don't have anything. The one thing I would also add, and you really hit on this important point, is the fact that the president was out there doing these two major events today. That shows he's serious about the midterms. It shows that his team is going to be working hard all the way up through November and even beyond, and he's going to get it done. If there's anyone who can bring the country back from where Joe Biden left us, it's President Trump.
Now, days like this, we need to kind of hear that because, you know, that Supreme Court defeat today with the tariffs and all that, they were prepared for it. They've got a plan B and a plan C and a plan D. They do. They got it all. Here's Doug Schoen, Democrat strategist, saying that what Trump needs to focus on is accentuating the positive.
I have to tell you, when I was in the White House with Bill Clinton, we told him, and he took the message to be optimistic. Trump, I think, with the Board of Peace, with the raising of $17 billion in the event in Georgia, is beginning to turn the narrative around. There is an affordability crisis with the American people, but with Trump's leadership, I think there is every reason to believe, in the absence of my party having an agenda, which it doesn't. Yes. I wish I could tell you were wrong, Laura. You're not. In the absence of that agenda, I think President Trump has a real chance to turn this around.
Now, to show you they don't have an agenda, this is a Democrat running for office named Juliana Stratton. And her ad, it is bleeped conveniently, is nothing more than F Trump.
Trump. Vote Juliana. Trump. Vote Juliana.
Trump. Vote Juliana.
They said it, not me. I'm not scared of a wannabe dictator. I'm running for Senate to stand up to Donald Trump. I'll abolish ICE and hold Trump accountable for the crimes he's committed. Just like they said, Trump.
Vote Juliana.
Wow, there you go. Here's Doug Schoen's reaction to that.
That ad represents the worst of what my party stands for. The profanity is wrong. Abolishing ICE is wrong. And Jason's exactly right. We Democrats should be talking about positive ideas on the economy to continue to make the country right, work with the president where appropriate, disagree where there's loyal opposition, but this approach is absolutely abhorrent,
Yeah.
and I decry it.
Tasteless, tactless, intellectually and morally bankrupt. That's your Democrat Party. Again, keep positive. Realize we're at war here. They're firing the shots, all right? We are going to win this, but we've got to come together as a country. The Democrat Party is splintered 80-20. 80% love the country. 80% are beginning to go, wow, voter ID, why is that controversial? 20% are the people who are in charge, who want to continue the gravy train, the corruption, the nonsense, enriching themselves, enriching their cronies, staying in power at whatever cost, including bringing in illegals to vote in place of you. Yeah, it's happening, duh. But we have to stay on top of it. We've got to do everything we can to win these midterms. Overwhelm them. Overwhelm them like we did with Kamala Harris in November of 2024. We can do it. Okay? We're in it together. We've come this far. We've come this far. We're not going to turn back now. Now the fight really begins. Let's take a break and come back, shall we? This is the Rob Carson Show.
With Epstein, I often used to hang before I left his place. I went out with a bang, Jeffrey invited me, and I would go again, was in a hot tub on the island of sin. Hillary said it was philanthropy, that was her way of covering for me with stupid claims like that. We're never gonna win, was in a hot tub on the island of sin. You'd think my wife would be filled with rage because the gals down there, they were underage. You see, a caring spouse Hillary has never been, was in a hot tub on the island of sin. ID, no ID. Got to kill to save act. That is my plea. If an ID to vote, you must show. Down the tubes the Democrats will go. ID, no. That's what I say. It will cost us big time. Election day. SAVE Act is designed to stop the steal. The threat to Democrats, it is real. ID, no ID. Into law to SAVE Act never can be. Illegals we need voting 2 times, maybe 3, without any proof of ID.
TBM.
Come on, Pete. Start moving. Come on. Got to get me there.
On the election integrity, there is and President Trump earlier this week tweeted out something from one of the things I said that seems to affirm what I'm saying. That the president is about to declassify a large body of evidence, a body of evidence that's been mostly secret since 2019, and it will show a different sort of story than the perfect election that we were told on 60 Minutes. Or that we were told by Chris Wray there was no foreign interventions in our election. It's going to show multiple foreign powers taking very specific actions, breaching certain databases, and taking hostile measures in our elections that members of Congress, states have been kept in the dark in. And I think that that's a project that Tulsi Gabbard is working on.
This is what we waited for, guys. This is what we've been waiting for. We know that the elections have not been free and fair in this country for a number of years. We know that you didn't have a choice, Democrats, other than Hillary Clinton in 2016. We know that you did not have a choice other than Joe Biden and then Kamala Harris in 2020. If I were a Democrat, I'd be mad, to be quite honest. But, you always just kind of go with the flow. Doesn't matter what happens with Republicans or with Democrats. You're just like, okay, we'll go, whatever. I know we didn't have a choice or anything, but that's okay because, we're Democrats and the whole deal. Here is John Solomon talking about John Brennan and a massive grand conspiracy going after Donald Trump for years, whether that be Russia collusion, whether that be the raid on Mar-a-Lago, and now they're going after John Brennan. Oh, here we go. Hold on one second. I started again here. Got to turn up the volume.
We're long waiting for real justice. There are signs that the federal prosecutors in Miami, who are running a grand jury in Fort Pierce, Florida, looking at the last decade of weaponization, are definitely zeroing in on the former CIA director, John Brennan. Yet John Brennan's lawyers acknowledged he got some subpoenas and thinks he's a target of the investigation.
Yeah, he should.
But in the last few days, Just the News has confirmed that the prosecutors in Florida, working for the Miami U.S. Attorney's Office, have sent a secret request to the Senate. It's rare. This happens very seldom. Asking for Congress to turn over evidence it has about an executive branch official. That official, John Brennan. What they're looking for are the testimonies that John Brennan gave about Russia collusion and Russia assessments from 2016, 17, and 18. Now, why is that significant?
Why?
There's two reasons to look for it. The first is John Brennan's been saying all along that I know Jim Jordan referred me for prosecution, as my testimony doesn't seem to match my documents, but the Senate, the way I talk to the Senate, will exonerate me. Well, obviously, those prosecutors want to get every record of what he told the Senate to see if it has any exonerating effect.
Here's the deal. We know that Russia collusion was created by Barack Obama. Hillary Clinton was a part of it. It was meant to distract from Hillary Clinton's massive corruption, Uranium One deal while she was Secretary of State and getting $200 million or so from Russia oligarchs into her faux charity, which was, by the way, created by Jeffrey Epstein. Clinton Global Initiative was created by Jeffrey Epstein. There you go. Yeah. So that's what it's all about. And we've been waiting a long damn time, and I'm hoping that something gets done here because I'm getting really sick and damn tired of waiting for something to happen. That said, I think we need some comedy. Do we need some comedy? How about we need some Jim Gossett as Bill Clinton talking about Prince Andrew? How about that? He was in the Epstein files. Here's Jim.
There's a prince, at least he used to be, till he was dumped by the royal family, a friend of Epstein's, just like me.
Yeah, he was.
And Andy is his name.
He liked younger women.
Under arrest in the UK, they picked him up.
Kind of has a history.
Just the other day, he could get a lengthy prison stay, and I could face one too. But people say, Andy, you're a pervert and a convict. You could be, could say the same about me and Hillary.
Yeah, you got a real marriage there.
Andy, you are finished.
Yeah,
that is clear to see. And Keir Starmer will be history.
There you go, Jim Gossett.
Andy, you're a weirdo.
There you go. Go to patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy, if you want to support him. Here's Carl Higbie talking about how the president knew about Epstein a long time ago. That's why he's been exonerated.
This is the first time a member of the royal family has been arrested since 1647, since before the Constitution. I mean, great job, dude. Like, really doing your family.
Since Anne Boleyn, and then she got her head cut off.
I'm really proud. It's almost like someone called this 11 years ago.
You raised the question of Jeffrey Epstein in your remarks about in the Q&A.
Well, I think he's got a problem. I mean,
what do you think the problem will be?
I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it.
Trump was right again.
Yeah, he knew that a long time ago. There you go. Rob Finnerty made a terrific observation about how you got thousands of names, thousands of allegations, dozens of victims of abuse, and yet nobody punished here, but they're going after them in England.
And why are they taking the Epstein files more seriously in England, in a foreign country? Prince Andrew, in case you have not heard, was just arrested. Prince Andrew today officially became the Hunter Biden of the royal family. But the most tragic part about today, and I know he was arrested for a glorified bookkeeping error, at least in this country, but look, they got Al Capone for tax evasion. So he could go to jail for this. But the most tragic part about what happened today is that Virginia Giuffre won't be able to testify in Prince Andrew's trial. And she won't be able to testify about what Prince Andrew allegedly made her do, because she committed suicide. Because what Jeffrey Epstein and Prince Andrew made her do was too much for her to bear.
Unbelievable. Here she is being interviewed by Savannah Guthrie.
Ghislaine woke me up in the morning and said, "You're going to meet a prince today." I didn't know at that point that I was going to be trafficked to that prince. Prince Andrew's like, "Let's dance together." And I was like, okay. And we leave Club Tramp. And I hop in the car with Ghislaine and Jeffrey. And Ghislaine said, "He's coming back to the house, and I want you to do for him what you do for Epstein." I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that even royalty were involved.
And here is the B word, Andrew denying this in 2019.
One of Epstein's accusers, Virginia Roberts, has made allegations against you. She says she met you in 2001. She says she dined with you, danced with you at Tramp nightclub in London. She went on to have sex with you in a house in Belgravia belonging to Ghislaine Maxwell, your friend. Your response?
I have no recollection of ever meeting this lady.
You're a scumbag.
None whatsoever.
You don't remember meeting her?
No.
She says she met you in 2001. She dined with you. She danced with you. You bought her drinks. You were in Tramp nightclub in London. And she went on to have sex with you in a house in Belgravia belonging to Ghislaine Maxwell.
Didn't happen.
Yeah. The Tramp nightclub, by the way. It sounded like Trump. It's Tramp nightclub is the name of it. It is remarkable in this time in our lives that female flesh is so cheap in so many cases, honestly. Is so disgusting. So thoroughly, thoroughly disgusting. The positive is evil is being exposed. Satan is going to be driven back into the pits of hell. And hopefully this guy's going to spend the rest of his bloody life in jail. I think that sounds like a good idea. How about you, kids? Corey DeAngelis, research of the Heritage Foundation, to join us on the other side of the break. This is The Rob Carson Show. We'll probably do one break with this guy. International disputes, inflation.
Okay.
That digital currency. There's a never-ending list of reasons. Hey guys, it's Carson for Shopify. You know, for years I have had a swag line of T-shirts with catchy phrases and whatnot, and it's just been lying there. Well, I've decided to go with Shopify and actually make money with my own business. Shopify gives you everything you need to sell online and in person. Millions of entrepreneurs have already made this leap, from household names to first-time business owners just getting started. Choose from hundreds of beautiful templates you can customize to match your brand instead of just having a lousy website that nobody notices like I have been doing for years. Set up fast with Shopify's built-in AI tools that write product descriptions and headlines, create email and social campaigns that reach customers wherever they scroll. In 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/Newsmax. Go to shopify.com/Newsmax. Make building a successful business your 2026 New Year's resolution.
Well, they have a lot of cats, and they're all Democrats. We call them Karen. They have a whiny voice. They are all pro-choice and mostly barren. They're cat ladies. Whoa, 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 they're cat ladies. Talking about some miserable ladies who have clearly lost their minds. These Karens don't like ice. They often pay a price, mistakes they're making. Karenism is their curse. Could go to jail or worse for their law breaking. They're cat ladies. Don't have a child, they're cat ladies. Talking about some miserable ladies who are out of their minds.
Hey guys, it's Carson for Shopify. You know, for years I have had a...
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain. Over time, it just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. You know, hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain?
To the town of Portland I said in the guard, Antifa, they are gonna get you hard. To Democrat mayors getting in my way, go ahead punks and make my day. F around and find out, F around and find out. Schumer's gonna find out I mean business and I'll get my way. Pencil Neck and Chris Ray, for your crimes you will pay. You have both been found out. Hope you get a lengthy prison stay. Listen up, Hamas, I am warning you. Break the ceasefire and you'll be through. Democrats, hang your head in shame. For the shutdown, you're gonna get the blame. F around and find out. Mess around and find out. F around and find out. In the end, I'm gonna win the day. Find out.
Over 100 students were put on in-school suspension after an ICE walkout at Mustang High School. Mustang Public Schools said the walkout was not school approved or sponsored. They also said the 122 students were given their suspensions for leaving classes and missing school, not for the content of their speech. In a statement on Facebook praising Mustang Superintendent, Governor Kevin Stitt said free speech is sacred, but truancy robs your future.
There you go. That's words to live by. Some school administrators are fighting back against all this nonsense. Teachers who have been brainwashed in liberal academia now wanting their kids to be mobilized for leftist causes. The latest, of course, being ICE. More than 300 Woodbridge High School students in Virginia get suspended after an anti-ICE walkout. The administrators say you can protest all you want, but once you leave school grounds during the school day, you are in a whole lot of trouble, and I hope this spreads. Joining us on the Newsmax hotline is Corey DeAngelis, research, and he works for the Heritage Foundation School Choice Evangelist. He's on the Newsmax hotline again. Welcome, Corey. How you doing, friend?
Hey, Rob, doing well. Thanks for having me.
So this is the latest we are seeing exposed in our schools. We know so many things have been exposed in our schools, from wokeness to radical LGBTQIA plus nonsense. And now, of course, teachers encouraging their children to walk out and protest ICE. There's no place in public education to this. I'm assuming this is one of the myriad reasons why so many parents are saying, we're done. We're going to teach our kids ourselves.
Exactly. That's why homeschooling has at least doubled since 2019 after parents saw the insanity through remote learning during the COVID era. And now you have the teachers' unions putting their thumb on the scale. This is a form of viewpoint discrimination, if anything, where they support students walking out for their preferred political pet projects, but they surely would not support students walking out when it comes to pro-Trump policies. And, you look just 7 months ago, the National Education Association had their annual convention in Portland, Oregon, of all places.
Yes.
They passed a resolution there to dedicate thousands of dollars in union resources to mobilize the students to protest against ICE and to oppose Trump's immigration policies. So this didn't bubble up out of nowhere. And Randi Weingarten herself, the president of the American Federation of Teachers, is in hot water, going viral for this month, telling her members, and she bragged about how she went to the Target executives of the retail giant, saying that she pressured them to oppose ICE publicly as well. So what in the world does that have to do with education? Nothing at all.
Yeah.
The teachers' unions have exposed themselves as being nothing more than a far-left arm of the Democrat Party, and it's becoming so obvious. No wonder why 80% of kids in America are not proficient in math, despite us spending $20,000 a year. They're focused on politics as opposed to academics.
Well, this is all a plan, isn't it? I mean, this has been going on forever. I've been in radio since about 1990. And I've watched this slow creep. I've watched this slow creep in higher education, starting with, silly little things like not using the word manhole, changing manhole cover because it has man in it, or changing the spelling of women to W-O-M-Y-N. Then it went on to, protesting conservative speech on campus. Then it went on to saying that conservative speech is violent. Then it went on to Black Lives Matter on campus. And now this is the latest iteration, which is mobilizing kids to support leftist causes that are well-funded.
That's right. And if you look at where the money goes, Rob, the American Federation of Teachers has this data out publicly. Randi Weingarten's union has dedicated 99.97% of their campaign contributions last election cycle to Democrats.
Yeah.
It's a money laundering operation. And if you look at their resolutions last year, I mean, they passed a resolution to declare President Trump a fascist, and in that same resolution, they misspelled the word fascism.
I know.
You almost can't make this stuff up, but they've become so political that it's almost like the radical left has figured out that they don't even have to have their own kids anymore, and they can still shape the direction of this country because they've infiltrated the school system, and they're molding the minds of other people's children and using that access to the kids against their own parents. They're keeping secrets from parents. They're passing policies to try to keep parents in the dark and to try to fight against transparency every step of the way. And, of course, they fight against school choice because families are alarmed right now, and they do want to vote with their feet somewhere else. The problem is, in too many places, that money's stuck in the government school system, and they basically have your taxpayer dollars held hostage along with your kids' education. But in red states right now, and thanks to President Trump's big, beautiful bill, there's a nationwide federal school choice program in the form of a tax credit.
Love
and
it.
27 states have already opted in to to go along with Trump's school choice plan, including one Democrat, Jared Polis out of Colorado.
What?
Did the right thing and said, you know what? I would be shooting myself in the foot if I didn't opt in, because this doesn't touch a single penny of local public school funding. It's additional charitable contributions for school choice.
Well, I like to say the left exposes its flanks so we can kick its butt. And that's what we've seen. We didn't know all of this was there, all of this transgender nonsense, all of this, radical LGBTQIA, this DEI, this division. I remember my son was in middle school. This was about 12 years ago, and they started using words like white privilege. And I was like, whoa, my kid goes to a school that's 10% white. Where the hell is this guy? And then it only grew, and then it only grew, and then it only grew. And then it grew into other insane things like the psyop of transgender nonsense. It's a social contagion. You have a piece that you alerted me to on the Wall Street Journal of all places. Sanity will be on the ballot in Washington State. Tell me about this, man.
Yeah, this will be a great test case for sanity in a deep blue state. They actually had a group out there, Let's Go Washington, that collected hundreds of thousands of signatures, over 100,000 more than they needed to get on the ballot. And so now in November, we're gonna see if this 80-20 issue can go on the side of parents. It's two things. One is to prohibit boys from playing in girls' sports.
Yeah.
And that polls really, really well amongst Republicans, Democrats, and independents. And the other one is to allow for more transparency in the public school system for parents. So parental rights is on the ballot. Protecting girls' sports is on the ballot. And if we can win in deep blue Washington, that's going to put the left on defense all across the country. And, it should be an easy win, but the teachers union is the main opponent in these cases.
I know.
Which, has nothing to do with education, yet they're dedicating tons of money to oppose these ballot initiatives. Hopefully, Washington residents can wake up and put the union on defense and beat them at the polls in November.
Did you see our Education Secretary, Linda McMahon, the other day reminding teachers they don't have to pay dues? That was good. Also, the elimination of the Department of Education, which has increased in size by about 40% the last few years, and every metric of quality of education is plunged into the toilet. So I think that Randy is running on borrowed time, and I'm hoping we're turning the corner not only with Donald Trump going after primary, but also colleges across the country with this woke nonsense. Corey, I appreciate you being on the show, man. You work at Heritage Foundation. Do you live in D.C.?
I don't. I used to live in D.C. Thankfully, I'm back to my roots in San Antonio, Texas, working remotely, but I'll be in D.C. more often for meetings.
I just moved here to Washington, D.C. from
Kansas
Kansas
I was
City.
During COVID.
There you go. Well, I appreciate you, man. Where can people find all your work, Corey DeAngelis?
Yeah, you can follow me on X at DeAngelis Corey, and then you can look me up at the Heritage Foundation as well to find more of my articles. All
right, man. Talk to you soon. Have a glorious weekend. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Are you guys okay today? I came in to check on you. Every time Trump does something good, you guys spaz out.
Yeah.
Would you guys shut up and let him work?
There you go. So, the Supreme Court decided that Donald Trump's tariffs were illegal. And I said, that's okay. They got a plan B. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you plan B.
In order to protect, and it says so, in order to protect our country, a president can actually charge more tariffs than I was charging in the past period of a year.
Really?
Under the various tariff authorities. So we can use other of the statutes, other of the tariff authorities, which have also been confirmed and are fully allowed.
Wow.
Therefore, effective immediately, all national security tariffs under Section 232 and existing Section 301 tariffs, they're existing, they're there, remain in place, fully in place, and in full force and effect.
Ta-da.
Today I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122 over and above our normal tariffs already being charged. And we're also initiating several Section 301 and other investigations to protect our country from unfair trading practices of other countries and companies.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I knew something was going to happen. I knew that they had a plan, and lo and behold, they had a plan. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah, that's pretty darn cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. So the revenue is going to keep coming, and there's a possibility down the road. And I had heard this and seen it in several places. There's a possibility down the road that these tariffs and all the fraud cutting and everything that they're doing right now, there's a possibility that people under $500,000 a year income could go income tax free. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? Because we have been inflating a giant corrupt cabal, a giant organized crime family, the Democrat Party and many Republicans. More corrupt than the Soviet Union ever dreamed of. As corrupt or more than the Soviet Union, but with a $7 trillion annual budget. And it is just glorious. I love it, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yay. This is what happens when you steal an election and then try to put a guy in jail and then try to kill him. He comes back with a plan. There you go. There you go. Gold is obviously making a comeback. It peaked out about $5,600, went up $500 in one day. A couple weeks ago, then dropped as people were selling, wanted to take in the profits. Right now, we're at about $5,073, so almost $5,100. It's coming back, slow and easy, slow and easy, slow and easy. Giving you a little time to get in, giving you a little time to buy right now because it's going to go back. And when it went up really high and then it dropped, now it's going to come back with a vengeance. I'm just guessing here. I'm just guessing. J.P. Morgan says there's a case against gold rallying. ANZ sees gold hitting $5,800 an ounce. There you go. There you go. Gold is already doing a rally, J.P. Morgan. I don't know what you're thinking about. It's already doing a rally. So there you go. Right now is an opportunity for you to buy gold. And here's the deal. You're not buying gold to just cash it in a month or two or a year or two. This is in for the long term. Gold has been valuable for since the day somebody discovered it. Right? What did they look at? The gilded tomb of King Tut. It was like nobody cared about anything else but that mask. That mask made out of gold. Yeah. You ever watch those documentaries about undersea treasure? What are you looking for? You're looking for gold, baby. Yeah. That's the way it is. Why don't you have any in your IRA or 401k? Well, you need to diversify. Text my name, Rob, to 989898 for Birch Gold. My name to Rob to 989898. Get a free info kit from Birch Gold and get the ball rolling and get on the gold bandwagon. I just did, by the way. I just got on the gold bandwagon. And I am thrilled that I did. So, excuse me. Text my name, Rob, to 989898 for Birch Gold. I think that's such good news. Excuse me. That Donald Trump has done that and had the tariffs locked and loaded. That is just good news. That just makes me really super duper happy. Really super duper happy. This is kind of, there was a couple 100 million gallons of sewage dumped into the Potomac River. There's this confluence of pipelines here from Northern Virginia and D.C. and Maryland that come together in a 6-foot pipe, and it hadn't been fixed up in a very long time. And it finally broke. And they got this guy in charge of the sewage system, the D.C. Water Management, named David Gaddis. David Gaddis is the CEO there, has championed equity and diversity throughout his tenure. He was named in a lawsuit against a former employee for allegedly withholding information about water contamination in Flint, Michigan. They hired the guy from Flint, frickin' Michigan. All right? Before joining DC Water in 2018, he served as executive vice president of Veolia North American and CEO of Veolia Water in Indianapolis, the utility's first black CEO, like that matters, and the first black executive leader in Indianapolis utility. And according to his bio, touts his partnership with municipal leaders and his leadership on diversity initiatives. That reputation faced scrutiny in 2018. An amended class action lawsuit cited the Veolia statement in which Gaddis promised the company would deploy its technical expertise to ensure water quality to the people of Flint, Michigan. Apparently, the people of Flint, Michigan's discolored drinking water resulted from an old unlined gas or cast iron pipe when it actually contained dangerous levels of lead. And apparently, this guy covered that up. Here is this guy talking about a couple years ago when he could have been, replacing that pipe over here, talking about diversity, equity, inclusion.
When I arrived at DC Water, this was an organization that looked very similar to our industry. It was predominantly, white male at the top, but this is a utility that's, more than 70% people of color work at this utility. And I really believe,
who cares?
And I still believe, and it has been fantastic. The outcomes have been fantastic.
Well, really, not so much lately.
But the people at the top, the executives, the chiefs,
the people at the top, the floaters is what they call them.
In that C-suite, they should look like the employees. That they serve and that they work with.
Really,
and the same thing with the community.
Not at all.
And so
okay, hold on. If that's the case, then if it's an all-white area, should you not hire any people of color? Right? I mean, if you're in, where's a really super white area in parts of Minnesota? So everybody should be white? Is that the deal, what it is? Is that the way it is? Honestly. If you're gonna play this game, then aren't there all white areas? You should just hire only white people. I mean, honestly, who cares? Clean up your S. There you go. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. How stupid. Dear Lord. Hi, guys. What are we talking about here? Y'all, the time has passed too quickly. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Dookie Bear, you have a wonderful weekend, too. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for watching. My Facebookies, Kurt McKenna, good to see you. Trillions of dollars gone. Okay, yeah, trillions of dollars have been stolen by the people in power. Trillions, $250 billion in California alone. Trillions. They increased the size of the government 40% with COVID. It's all gone. $787 billion under Barack Obama. $787 billion. $2 trillion in green energy bullcrap under Joe Biden. None of it. Gone. Yeah, trillions of dollars. And in in the Democrat states everywhere, billions and billions and billions of fraud, from food stamps to Medicaid, Medicare, Obamacare. That's trillions. The corn that floats, that's what floats to the top. Sometimes I'm thinking corn's going to be a cash crop along the Potomac the next couple of years. This fall, you'll be able to harvest all sorts of corn on the side of the Potomac. I mentioned that the other day. It was funny. What am I going to do here? AOC, word salad. Oh, yes! Got a Karen of the day here. Here we go. I got to talk now, kids. Hold on. Here we go. Busy week, man. It's been a busy week. Been a good week. I hope you had a good week, guys. I'm just going to chill this weekend, I think, a little bit. Here we go.
I was the same distance from Gettysburg Memorial Battlefield and Hershey, where they make all the chocolate. And I had one free afternoon, and I had to decide between Gettysburg and Hershey World.
Yeah, where'd you go?
And I do remember thinking, if I don't go to Hershey World, it's like all these people died for nothing. You know,
That is Aaron Weber, comedian. I brought that up because we are doing this bus trip to Hershey, Pennsylvania, or to Hershey, dear Lord, no, it's like a chocolate on the brain, to Gettysburg on June 11th from WCBM in Baltimore. We've added a second bus. We're going to start selling tickets for that on Monday. So WCBM.com, WCBM.com. I promised you Crazy Cat Lady of the Day. Here's a woman who is threatening ICE if they come in to visit her. And by the way, she was arrested.
ICE, guess what? This message is for you. Don't come to my house if you're planning on leaving alive. Crazy. You step foot onto my house, you're leaving in a body bag.
She's Alex Taylor Fontenot of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Now, if you just say these things, you're crazy. If you put them on social media, you're certifiable.
I've been waiting for the day that I get to pew-pew a tyrannical government uprising. And guess what? My dad just pew-pewed and murdered my mom.
She said her dad just murdered her mom.
So I have all this built-up rage and anger. You come to my
I have all this pent-up rage and anger.
house, you'll actually be helping me aim it in a positive direction. Don't worry. No one will get hurt. You'll be dropped like flies immediately. So you won't feel a thing.
Okay. Now, could you believe that people just a few years ago would do this? This is the left. This is why we're going to beat their butts. We're going to beat their butts. We just got to keep fighting. Got to stay positive. Got to keep them. Got to overwhelm them with joy and patriotism. I will handle the mockery, ridicule, satire. Donald Trump will handle the butt kicking. If you get a chance to check out my TV show, Rob Carson's What in the World, Sunday night at 8:30. I mean this. Watch it. Set your DVR. Sunday night, 8:30. Following Dr. Michael Savage. I need you to do this. Okay. There you go. Rob Carson's What in the World, Sunday night, 8:30. Newsmax. Have a glorious weekend. God bless. America is founded. Donald Trump, he's making this country great again. You freaking awesome people. I love you so much. And until Monday, do not catch the stupid. Sunday night, 8:30. See ya.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.